Hello, this is Jeff Kelly, and in this video, I want to answer the question, if you are considering filing bankruptcy in Georgia, will you be able to keep your car? And the answer is, in almost every case, yes. So let me go through it. First, I'm going to talk about Chapter 7, and then I'm going to talk about it in a Chapter 13 context. Okay, so number one question, are you current on your car payments? Okay, if you're way behind on car payments, you probably don't want to file a Chapter 7. We should probably be looking at a Chapter 13, but we'll get back to that point later. But let's say you are filing a Chapter 7 and you are current on your car payments. Let's say this car is worth $12,000 and you owe 10. Well, under Georgia bankruptcy law, I can exempt $5,000 of your car. You only have $2,000 of equity, so in this case, it wouldn't be a problem. What happens with the debt when you file a Chapter 7? Well, in order for you to keep that car, you have to sign something called a reaffirmation agreement. Basically, that's a contract between you and your creditor. And it basically says this: hey, Mr. Creditor, I'm filing a Chapter 7 bankruptcy. I really want to keep my car. We're going to treat this debt. We're going to enter into this legal agreement that treats this debt like we have never actually filed. So once you sign that reaffirmation agreement, you're on the hook. The car is treated like you never filed and you keep driving on, no problem. Okay, now let's talk about Chapter 13. Let's say you are behind on your car payments and we need to file a Chapter 13. It's a great tool for stopping a car repossession. Now, the key is we want to get a case number before they repossess the car. Can you get the car back if it's been repossessed when you file a Chapter 13? And the answer is yeah, in most cases. So here's the deal. If your car is financed with a reputable finance type of company, they're almost always going to want to pursue a deficiency against you. So in order to do that, they've got to hold the car for about 10 days and have to send you the 10-day letter as required by the Georgia Motor Vehicles Act and give you notice before they auction the car off, they sell it, and then they sue you for whatever is remaining on the loan. That's how it normally works. And so if we can file your case in that 10-day period, we should be able to get the car back. Now, what if your car's financed with a buy here, pay here? Those guys usually don't even care about a deficiency. So they'll buy and sell the car within like a day. They're never planning on suing you for a deficiency. So they don't hold the car. So if you've got a car financed with a buy here, pay here, you need to get a case number as soon as possible. Once your case is filed, you are protected by the automatic stay. That's that magic umbrella that hangs over you that says to the creditors, you can't take stuff without court permission. You can't go garnishing wages. You can't call the person. You can't clean out their checking account. None of that stuff. You get to breathe. So that's why a lot of people call Chapter 13 the catch your breath provision. Now, how is your car treated in a Chapter 13 plan? If you have purchased the car within the last 2.5 years, you're going to end up paying whatever the amount owed is on the car plus interest. And usually that's going to work out in your favor as far as your budget goes, so that you can survive and so that you can breathe. Now, let's say you have owned your car for more than 2.5 years and it has dropped substantially in value. Now, value is going to be what is the clean retail on it. That's what's going to get treated in the Chapter 13 plan. But for a lot of people, that's a whole lot less than what's actually owed on the car. So that's how people might be able to keep their car and pay less. You've got to get to the end of your Chapter 13. You can't let it get dismissed. But once you get it discharged, that's when you get the title to your car. So let's talk about what happens if you do nothing. You're behind on your car payments. You just keep trying to grit your teeth and make it, and they repossess your car. Again, the normal process is they're going to send you a letter saying, hey, this car's going to auction. We're going to come after you later for it. They sell the car at auction. So let me just make up numbers here. Let's say you owe $30,000 on a car and they sell it at auction for 15. You may ask yourself, how the heck does that happen? Well, hey, it's an auction. Sometimes they don't go for much. And you still have $15,000 on the balance. Now, usually it's going to be a pretty significant amount of time before they come after you. I would say 6 months or so. And usually they will file a lawsuit. they will get a judgment against you. In the state of Georgia, if they do get a judgment against you, they can use that to, number one, clean out your entire savings and checking account up to the balance left owing. Yikes. Or they can garnish your wages and take 25% of whatever your take home is. We can file Chapter 13 and stop that garnishment if that happens to you. But long story short, if you've got a car that's workable and drivable, you might be better off filing a Chapter 13 and keeping it and paying it through a Chapter 13 plan. Okay, so if you're behind on your car payments, you might want to consider calling us as soon as possible. It's really important to get as much accurate information as you can. How much do you really owe on the car? Sometimes I have clients that'll call me and they're like, yeah, I owe $25,000. And then I'm going to quote them, an estimate of what their Chapter 13 payment is going to be based on $25,000. And then they come in and we find out they owe twice as much. And the Chapter 13 payment is going to have to be twice as much now. I'm like, whoa, you lied to me. No, I didn't. You just gave me the wrong amount when we first talked. So get good information. The opposite can also happen, where sometimes I have clients that will overestimate how much they owe. And they'll say, gosh, I don't want to file Chapter 13 right now because that payment's too high. And then son of a gun, they end up coming in later for a different reason. And we find out they owe half as much as they thought they did. And the payment does work. And we should have filed a whole lot sooner. So get information. You can go to annualcreditreport.com. You can pull a free copy of your credit report and you can see exactly how much you owe in your car and all your other debts. If that doesn't work, you can go to Credit Karma. You can pull your free credit report there. If that doesn't work, you can go to Experian.com and sign up for their free trial, and they let you pull a credit report there. But make sure you cancel the free trial, otherwise you're going to get charged. But don't just sit back and pretend like nothing's going to happen if you're behind on your car payments, because something is going to happen. I promise you, it always does. Go to my website, download a free copy of my guide to Chapter 13 bankruptcy. If you don't want to read and you'd rather listen to it, I've got an Audible book on there as well that you can listen to, but educate yourself on your options. Don't wait. Let's get your stuff protected. Get the stress off of you and give me a. Thank you so much.